Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 891 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Pyles, joined today by James Dean Rader, who's got his best Thursday sweater on. Ben Funky Askren's here. The Pyles have no power, like many people in the Austin, Texas area, but that's not going to stop us.
Still no power?
Still no power. Our children stayed with the Braves last night.
Really?
We just braved the cold at in our home. It's not that bad, but it's getting colder. So hopefully we get it back.
You'd be surprised that your temperature actually doesn't go down that much over the course of a night if you keep everything everything stays closed.
Yeah.
I remember having to us, maybe it was like 3 or 4 degrees. It wasn't nothing terrible.
Yeah. So not great, but it's okay. Happy to be here inside this slightly warm. It's
getting warm, baby.
Kind of warm. Studio with a whole weekend of wrestling to discuss. We've got the Zagreb going on in Croatia. We've got some great duels going on this weekend, starting tomorrow. Anything top of mind, Ben or JD, you want to start with?
Yeah, Evan Henderson, Muzakayev. That was so much fun.
It was
great.
I mean, Muzakayev can never seem to. He only outdoes himself every single. Just when you think there's a new, crazier thing.
It was classic Hendo. I knew it was coming. Hendo's got a gas tank and loves to push pace. I think Muzakayev knew too. He wanted to end this match in the first period so bad. And he just couldn't, and he gave up.
He almost did. He was damn close to ending it, but he didn't.
The thing with Muzakayev, and so what? It's a vintage. If you don't know who Ismail Muzakayev is, he's a Dagestani.
You're really missing out if you don't.
You're really missing out on the most action-packed wrestler, because for the first period, you think this is maybe one of the greatest wrestlers you've ever watched.
No, he is.
No.
If he had a 3-minute matches, he would likely be the best in the world.
Yeah, he is ridiculous, but he falls off a cliff in a way you don't see, even in international wrestling. You don't see it the way he falls off a cliff. He's a 65-kilogram wrestler. He wrestles for Hungary now. And he does it. I mean, he was up 9-0 or up 9 points on Yanni, and Yanni teched him. He was up
9 on Evan.
He didn't tech him. He cautioned him out.
Oh, yeah. He got cautioned out. They didn't even get the chance to tech him. He just got cautioned out. So he's a disaster, but we love him. We do love him. But
He's my goat.
I don't know if we can play it. I know we can play the match. Are we going to? Because it's amazing.
Oh, I mean, I wasn't ready for us to play it, but there are some great clips. I mean, this is the thing about I was saying Nick Lee was just kind of shooting without setups, and Henderson would grab his arm and pull on it and make him work. And then when he shot, there was a few lengthy scrambles, which is exactly what you need to do against someone like that to make him tired. So Henderson had a great strategy and game plan. And the thing is, he was down 8 and 9 points. But against Muzakayev, it doesn't matter. Because if you're still in it in minute 4, there's a decent chance you're going to win.
Yeah, because he cannot.
He can't go minutes 5 and 6.
He can't. He has to. He has to tech. And I think if he needs to go to a doctor, he has to have some sort of condition. You have to.
You have to go to a doctor.
You have to go out of your way to
Christian.
Benjamin.
You don't think he's using other substances? I'm sure he is.
What, you mean like smoking cigarettes?
Well, I don't know about that. No, I was talking about PEDs.
Does it look like he's on PEDs?
He's on something.
I think he just doesn't train cardio.
Are you crazy? What kind of PED makes you... Listen, he should be able to...
McLaren report.
What are you talking about? McLaren report?
The McLaren report is the report where it showed how many of these people actually use PEDs. And the amount of Russian wrestlers that tested positive, it was like 200 positive tests. They're all on it.
Yeah, but
for the record, he would no longer be on that state-sponsored program.
Yeah, he's Hungarian now.
In fact, they would want him to lose.
Yeah, they want him to lose. I think he's still got the same PED dealer, but they're sending him, carbon monoxide or something.
You know who else was electric?
Boltakayev.
Yes.
Yeah. So he got really tired, but nothing like this. I don't. If he's on PEDs, it should help his performance. His performance is not enhanced.
He should get on.
They need to get the right stuff.
What did TJ Dillashaw take?
EPO.
Yeah, EPO. They need to give some of that.
He just needs an elliptical machine.
No, never change, Moose. Never change.
Yeah, I know. It's as predictable as the sun. This guy getting tired. It was a great match. Henderson ends up winning, but man, his reattacks
By
are
fall.
So easy. Like it's just
so good.
He's so smooth until he's not, and then he's got a little paunch on his belly though too.
People forget
really,
this,
I think it's that HGH gut where it's like pushing out all his muscles.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that is just a ridiculous takedown. This is my favorite takedown.
Oh, that's one you're talking about right there where he reshoots off the fake.
Yeah. It's
that was good.
Whoop.
Yeah, if you're just watching, Hendo like kind of fakes, and then all of a sudden Musakaev is just behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so clean.
With basically out even touching him.
Yeah, and then at one point are you like, he's in trouble because he gets up 9. He's up 9-2 here, and
he's up 7 right now. A 4-pointer ends it.
Yeah, he wanted it so bad.
Henderson's like pulling on stuff, and hanging and then creating scrambles. Like that's what you need. Nick Lee, like, even this scramble's great. He gets so tired in this scramble. They go here for like 30 seconds. Henderson actually did something really tricky there where he stepped over the second leg. Now Musakaev's got to work.
Yeah, because in freestyle you have to get that leg out.
Yes.
To get the takedown.
Now they're back here.
It's like Marco position.
Yes, this is a hard working scramble right here. I mean,
it didn't look like Musakaev had to do much. Maybe that's a lot of work.
You got to sprawl there. You got to sprawl. He's got to be sprawled, engaged the whole time, or he's getting taken down. So his hips are engaged the whole time. Yeah,
it's about the hip engagement.
Engagement. Yeah,
forget the hip engagement factor.
So man, this match is so much fun.
This guy,
another one, right? See, Harrison's pulling on him. This is what you need to do to this guy right here. I said it's easier said than done.
Look at this Peterson. This is beautiful. This is straight.
It really is. It was so nice.
Oh my gosh.
He even went the other way. A lot of people try to go towards the shoulder way. He went towards the hip way.
That was the right way to go for sure. Yeah. This is awesome by Henderson though. How he gets here.
Yeah.
And he scares him and then comes back. That was
he did
tricky.
Get scared.
What's funny here is usually after there's an exposure, they won't give a takedown, but they do. They gave a 2-point takedown as opposed to a 1-point reversal there.
If you come up to your feet, they're giving takedowns. Because if you watch, did you watch? You watched Musakaev, Nick Lee. He gets a takedown, and Nick Lee comes up to his feet, and Musakaev drops single to double and finishes, and they give him another 2.
Yeah.
They go 2 and 2. So
this was Christian's favorite part of the match.
This is the best part because the clock
he won't
is
go
going.
to the corner.
He won't go to his corner. He's just sitting in the middle.
That's too much effort.
Honestly, he's the corner.
What are those Hungarian coaches going to tell him?
Nothing.
I don't even speak the right language.
But I don't even know why he went there. Because he doesn't make it to his corner until 3 seconds are left, and now he's got to go back.
He just has to get wiped down. Great. He doesn't even get one towel flap.
They don't start the toweling process till after 30-second break. Here he comes.
Well, that's why he went over.
Yes.
If you go, you get the extra 5 seconds.
Yeah. That makes all the difference for him here. It's kind of funny when these guys, like the Kyle Snyder's opponent this morning took a really obvious longer, but I don't know how much how much time do you actually need to truly recover?
So much.
When you're
minutes.
Minutes.
A 30-second one is not. It's not going to do it.
It might help.
It might feel better for until the first scramble.
He feels pretty good here. He gets immediate.
It'll give you a nice burst.
Yeah. He's like, I really need that go behind to be worth 4 points here. But here I go. So you think it's just HGH belly? Not.
I mean, I don't think it's fat. I don't think there's fat on there. If we were to take down a singlet, I bet it would be pretty lean.
Oh my gosh.
That was smooth. A little overtime fly-by foot sweep.
Yeah. I'm sure I love this part too, where he just doesn't get up.
Yeah.
It's so funny because Evan's all the way back and he's just like still sitting there on the edge. It's really, if you show this to like a high school wrestler, I wonder how doesn't watch any international wrestling, be like, what is this? It's like, why? It doesn't even.
Is that legal? Can I do that?
It doesn't even compute to be this tired in a match, and he does it literally every time.
Yeah.
Unless he texts them. So it's
but sometimes Mitchell and I had this conversation. He actually gets 2 more here. This is wild because he sits through and pops into his back.
Kindig how to shell.
Yep. Boo! Oh, that was so. Yeah. All right. But Mitchell and I had this conversation about how the international guys get so tired, and I think a decent factor of it is, some of the Europeans, Russian, that type, they have an agreement to like not go hard, so then they don't push each other. So then they're not pushed, and then they get to junior worlds and they fall like. At junior worlds, I don't know what it is, but there's more of them that get tired, like Musakayev, that just like fall over.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Hey, so did Jaden Cox not wrestle? I was looking through the bracket.
No, he got hurt at DeGlane.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of known he wasn't going to be competing.
Okay.
So no Snyder, Jaden until I guess Final X.
Most likely.
If Jaden stays up, which Jaden, he said he's staying up, but till it happens, I'm not as sure.
Yeah, for sure.
JD wants to say his piece. I don't know what this is, but it says JD
it's definitely
wants to say his piece.
as in not
piece
the piece
pie.
fingers. I think it's the piece the other way for sure.
It is correct. So I don't know who questioned being there, but I was correct. Just very quickly on yesterday's freestyle folk style thing, I held my tongue back a little bit because there's no point in even saying this because it will never ever happen. But it is my opinion that if you poll 1,000 people who have never watched wrestling, who have never seen folk style wrestling or freestyle wrestling, and you say which is the more entertaining product, most of them would choose freestyle. Obviously, it is a matter of preference. Some people would prefer folk style. That is undeniable. But I also think that most people would select freestyle as the better product, and you could never change to freestyle because too many high school coaches, whatever, never wrestled freestyle, don't watch freestyle, they only know folk style, and that's why people like folk styles, because they wrestled folk style in youth club and high school, so that's what they watched in college, and the NCAA tournament is so popular because of teams, not because it is freestyle or folk style. And if college were to change to freestyle, eventually high school would immediately change as well. And in 30, 40 years, once everybody did freestyle for that amount of time, it would just be the new norm. And most people would be happy. And we would just, a lot of people wouldn't even, we would just forget about folk style. Like we forget about a lot of things from wrestling from 50, 60 years ago, but there's no point in debating it. We can debate it all. It doesn't matter. It will never happen. So I wanted to say my.
I don't disagree with your sentiment or your point. I don't think at all. Obviously, I would prefer that we keep folk style because I think it's a great style, and we can still do freestyle, and we're still doing great. And I don't see the issue. I suppose the only thing I would debate with you is, why are we polling non-wrestling fans? I think we should poll like. Maybe
because wrestling fans
people,
right now have
people
watched
who are
folk style.
People who are loosely like into wrestling, but like they kind of know of it, but they're not quite where they turn on a Friday night tool meet. That type of people.
Okay, that's fair.
That's like our warmest market where we can draw those people in.
Yeah. I like folk style a lot. I think it should be improved. Just like I thought freestyle had to be improved in the ball draw 2 out of 3 era. You can improve it without materially changing it completely.
Huge.
So, I like that we have folk
freestyle is such a different product with a rule set that actually makes sense compared to what it was. For sure.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, I like it. I like our little wrestling dynamic. I like that we got seasons. I like the variety. It's the spice of life, JD. Surely you know this. But no, I get what you're saying as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ben had a great Mental Monday. Did it come out on Monday? Am I just now?
I do it on Tuesday. I mean, sometimes if I just get busy on Monday, I'll just do it the next day. Like
Mental Monday.
Shoot, I didn't get to it. I'll just call it Mental Monday. I'll just do it when I do it. Sometimes it's not even Tuesday. Sometimes it's Wednesday if I get really busy.
Okay. Don't try to pin him down. Okay.
This segment. What'd you like most about it? It was all about why athletes don't give enough effort.
Yeah, so a lot of it just really resonated with me in my, short time as a coach for whatever 8 or so years. making them believe, and like how you the first thing you start with is just like how few kids actually believe they can be good or reach their goals. I know that was the case for me, not for lack of, I don't think due to lack of coaching support or parental support. I just think for whatever reason I just didn't actually in my own mind believe. And so
when you were a kid?
When even when I was in high school, I don't know if I really thought I could be good at anything in sports.
Okay.
For sure. And not through lack. I had good coaches. My parents like definitely gassed me up, but I don't think I internally believed it. So I think it is a huge. I do, but I guess my thought was when I think about the kids that had success that I coached with, most of them, all the best ones I coached had one. I definitely like tried to instill that in them, but they also had parents that were extremely supportive and really thought they were awesome and really believed in them. And I think that's like, probably one of the bigger challenges you run into. It probably takes a little bit longer with those kids where maybe the parental support is not on par with what you're experiencing. Or I did have some kids, and these were rarer, but where the coaches and the teachers and the adults in the school were basically their positive role models and parental figures by and large. And you had some kids that were just I coached a kid whose parents were literally in prison for selling drugs, and this kid would literally do anything you asked. By far one of the hardest workers I ever had, and he was like this for the football coach. He was like this. He was a straight A student, got into Virginia Tech, engineering. Like, this kid was just like kind of like a Roman Bravo Young type of overcomer. And like to him, like the parents were like his teachers and coaches, and he wanted to do everything to please them. But most of the kids fall in the middle. Well, they have parents that are around, they're involved, but they're not like, they don't really believe in them. And if you don't have the coaches, then I think you get a lot of kids that kind of just slot in that sort of mediocre thing. But it was,
and I think some parents don't like. Some parents are in that category where they're not like, they don't like tell their kids they can't do it. They're not negative, but they're also like, they don't even like discuss the topic. Like, you can do this, and here's how you're going to do it. You got to work hard. You got to have discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't tell their kids that, and they just kind of like a little bit left unsaid. I think there's a lot of those as well.
100%. And I know just seeing how work and wrestling work together was like really eye-opening to me, and help when you see it happen for other people, it makes you believe that it can happen for all these other kids too. Like, so pretty good. And then another big thing is like showing them that. So your second point was to show them what hard work looks like, and like make sure they see that. And it's interesting because it's like you don't know what you look like when you're working out. You may even actually think you're going really hard. So it is important that you see like how it is. But I think there's also like, is there ever an element of like, how do you have the kid like reflect on their effort right in the moment too? Because like in their minds they might be actually doing it.
Yeah, I think I showed them the high school kid. Like I said in the video, like the intensity of the high school group is just so much higher than the way they work. And so it's like, we kind of have a separation between high school and youth, but sometimes there's camps or, once in a while a kid will come or they'll private lesson and be around. It's like, watch the high school kids, watch how they work. And so you're telling me you want to do this stuff, but you don't work like them. And so like when they see what hard is, then it's a little different to like, oh, that makes sense. And that was kind of what I brought up in the video, is like, you got to show them that. And that's why having those older kids that are so locked into it is so important.
Yeah, totally. Well, good stuff. Check it out. AWA Facebook page.
Absolutely.
Want to Kyle Snyder had a good match against Azerbaijan. Encourage you to check that one out. It's on the site. He won.
Who's the other good match that I watched yesterday? Was it Nolf, maybe? I think Nolf had a really good match, right? In finals?
He had a couple close-ish matches, but he won them all. He had a criteria win, he had a close win, but he got
and the guy from Iran, he was a world medalist, right?
Yes.
Mami.
Yes, he's good.
Yes. Oh, yeah, the Kuramagomedov, he's tough also, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, Team USA still rolling. We got updates and some archives going up on the site right now, so check those out. And we head to the weekend in wrestling, which
the picks, baby.
Awesome Friday. Yeah, the picks. I can't do worse than I did last week. I could get everything wrong.
God.
I haven't had a week like that ever, where I just missed so badly. But
you think JD changed them on you to make you wrong, so he caught
I know for a fact he did, and that's why I waited until this show for the sting
confront him.
To confront him.
Check the tapes.
Check the tapes. Yeah, no, you check them. It's not good. So the big duel this weekend is Friday night at the Covelli Center, Penn State at Ohio State. But we've got a lot of other really good matches as well. Iowa's wrestling Minnesota, Nebraska Purdue, Iowa State Pittsburgh, which will have younger Nino, as we mentioned.
Cole Matthews, Swiderski, but that match unfortunately lost quite a bit of steam over the past.
It did.
It's still a big match.
3 weeks.
Yeah, it's still probably gonna be close.
Oh yeah, close for sure.
Well, every Cole Matthews match is close.
But
yes,
if Swiderski couldn't get away from Carter Young, and now Cole Matthews is a different sort of problem.
This is true.
From the top position.
Yeah, I would probably advise taking neutral.
Yeah,
and then not getting taken down.
Boy,
that's your path to victory.
You should coach in the big leagues. Okay. Oh, also, sort of in the realm, Nathan Tomasello to Cliff Keen Wrestling Club.
Oh, interesting. Where was he? Because I remember he was gonna start his own club or something. And then
he was coaching at his high school, the Christian Academy, Falls,
Cuyahoga Valley.
Yeah, or Valley, yeah.
And then I think he's starting a club in conjunction with that, but maybe decided to come back.
Yeah, he's coming back. He'll be wrestling 61.
Oh, 61.
Oh,
interesting.
This season, at least.
Yeah.
I would assume 57.
Him going 65 would be no way, Jose.
Man, I remember seeing him last year. He was almost 70. He was thinking about going 70. He was so big, but now he's back down.
Did you just say Nathan Tomasello 70 kilograms?
He talked about it with me.
Shut your mouth.
Come on, son.
You shut your mouth.
Listen, tell him he can't. Nato's a beast. So good get for Cliff Keen Wrestling Club. They lost Suriano, I guess, and Micic is now back in Indiana. So.
Oh, really? What's Micic doing? Is he not training anymore or what?
He trains in Indiana.
Even before the World Championships, that's what he was doing.
Yeah, he left right after and went to. And he trains there. He hasn't been with Cliff Keen.
Who's he training with?
I think. What's the guy's name? Paul Petrov.
Who? But if you're that good, there's not a lot of people. I don't know if you guys realize this. When you're good enough to place at the Worlds, there's not really a lot of dudes that you can go with. So there's not a lot of places you can train.
This is the guy he trained with leading up to Worlds, and he got bronze. Paul Petrov wrestled at Bucknell. He was good.
Who's his coach?
I think his dad.
Is his dad a wrestler?
I don't think so.
Interesting setup. Okay. I don't know what to tell you about that. Sergei Beloglazov?
I know he does quite a bit of, traveling around to different clubs and whatnot as well.
Have him up at AWA.
Sure. You are always welcome to come up to AWA whenever you want, Stevan Micic.
All right. Open invite.
Open invite. Open invite to a lot of people. I usually get on with everybody. Dang, that's interesting. But this is really interesting that he's training and he's, wants to compete at the world level. And he's, I don't know, Paul Petrov. So I need to wrestle stat him, see how good he really was. Because, man, it's hard.
He was like NCAA qualifier type of guy.
Okay.
Not All-American.
I mean, we were talking about this yesterday a little bit and kind of indirectly. But when you get to a certain level, we're talking about in reference to Max Murin, if you're like a top 10 NCAA guy, you can't go that low before all of a sudden it's not competitive. You get down to like the 30, 40, 50 rank, those guys they're just not going to go with you. They're just not good enough, And that's kind of the problem with actually doing some type of international wrestling league in America is there's such a drop off even in after the first couple. Like, how many guys can go with Burroughs or how many guys can go with Taylor? And the answer is almost none. So that's why it's like, okay, well, you have to kind of train at certain specific places because you got to have guys who, maybe don't have to go be able to beat you in live, but they also got to be able to wrestle situationally with you and get better places.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting setup, but it works for him. Or it's working now. We'll see.
Well, he was at Michigan for a long time, obviously.
Yeah. Very long time. Okay. Enough of that.
Enough.
Do we want to do picks or we want to talk about just the weekend at large?
I want to do picks.
This guy just lives for the picks.
Love it.
I think one duel a week, starting maybe next year. You should do the actual line for the duel. Like, what would the line be for Penn State, Ohio State? Oh, he's got it. He's got his own bookie. He's a true degenerate here.
I can probably tell you the official line here.
I can actually place the wager with my guy.
Probably like 11 or 12, because it was 9.5 for Iowa.
That's a dangerous line because that can go one way or the other real fast.
You said it. It could go one way, but there's also the other.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain duels where a lot of the matches are mismatches, and you're like, there's no way those are going to flip. But this one,
Betfred Sports Iowa has the line at
Betfred? Is that the name?
Betfred. 13.5 for Iowa.
I'll bet that for sure. Because 41.
We're talking about Penn State, Ohio State.
Yeah.
This guy. He's got Gophers on the mind.
41's competitive, 65's competitive, 97 is relatively competitive. I think a few of those maybe could.
I mean, 74 is.
They got match lines for this one too, which they haven't had in the past. 14.5 for Penn State.
Ooh.
And they have.
I'm taking that for sure.
D'Amelio as a plus 325.
Plus 325 for the guy that's 8-0. Might throw a couple chinks on that one.
And Alex Facundo at plus 120.
Okay. Do you have to be an Iowa resident to do it with Betfred, or is this like your buddy Fred that just made his own website called Betfred, or is this like the thing?
I don't know how it started, but yes, you do need to be in Iowa.
Damn it, Christian, next plane. Bet that line hard.
Yeah, so 14.5. So wait, which do you like? You said which side do you like? Ohio State?
I would bet Ohio State because I think they're going to win 25 and 49 probably for sure. Mm-hmm. And then if they get probably one more, I'd say they're within that.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably win 65 too.
I think,
I think
that's my opinion.
I don't hate Facundo at plus 120 though.
No, not as much as I like D'Amelio at plus 300.
Yeah.
Plus 325.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't think D'Amelio's going to win that one. Good value though.
Good value. It's all about the value. Great.
D'Amelio is 8-0, so why can't he win? So just to remind everyone now, JD took the lead in second place from Christian, so now I'm 7 picks up.
That's not enough.
Not enough. JD keeps making more and more picks every week. Like usually we did like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there.
There's more and more.
Now last week, JD had 15. Lots of picks.
Yeah, that's a lot. So Penn State, Ohio State minus 14.5 for Ohio State or for Penn State. That's a lot of points, a lot of perns. Okay, Roman Bravo Young versus Jesse Mendez. This is probably the match I'm most excited about.
Yes, I'm excited also.
RBY, a 2.5 point favorite. This is probably dead on. So RBY beat Ragusin by 2. He pin slayed Brody Teske. This is a tough one. I think this is right on.
Not for me. I'm taking RBY on this one. The 2.5 is too close.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's had the 1-2 points match against Ragusin, but honestly, for this season, that's kind of an outlier.
Yeah, he's been killing everyone.
Yeah.
Jesse Mendez, I'm very high on Jesse Mendez. I've been high on him all season, even after he took the loss.
Take the Elbeth.
Yeah, after he took the Elbeth, but I just RBY's different planet right now.
Yes.
I don't see really the only match I see even being competitive would be a Dayton Fix match this year with him.
Dang.
Oh, wait.
Well, I mean, he had a competitive match with Dylan. Would you not call it? He was losing going into the second period.
Going into
Domination,
the second,
2 points.
Obviously, it's not domination, but like
domination.
It was never in
JD.
doubt. Even after Askren took him down, Dylan Ragusin is going to win this match.
No, but
It was
that doesn't mean it wasn't competitive.
It was competitive,
Well,
for sure.
my idea of competitive is there ever a doubt in my mind. There will never be in my mind for the rest of the season. There will never be RBI will never be a loss in doubt until he wrestles Dayton Fix.
Dang.
Well. So the sad part is he's not gonna ever wrestle Vito and Dayton. It's either one or the other because the only place they can meet up is.
Well, Vito's
who
seed
knows?
could get messed
Vito
up because he lost to Latona.
He could be a 4.
That's interesting. Yeah, it could. You're right. He could go down to 4.
Yeah.
So maybe did Vito do this on purpose?
Yeah.
The long con. So that he had to go through both.
He just conned himself because now he has to beat. Well, I guess it doesn't really.
I guess he
matter
would have
the
had to either way.
Either way.
would have
He's
had
got to be both no
just
matter
the
what.
order. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think your point about the Ragusin match just being an outlier in general is the thing, and they've wrestled 3 times. They've wrestled a lot, so Dylan's been able to get a feel for him to an extent to slow it down. First crack for Mendez. 2.5. Because here's the thing, and here's why I'm going to go Roman. I think Roman's at minimum going to get 1 takedown, right? I think that's happening. And then all he really needs is either to ride out that period or to ride out if Mendez takes bottom, or if Mendez takes neutral, there's basically a point baked in there. So 3 is not quite 3 is, I think, spot on. So I'm going to take Roman to cover that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, is he going to get away? Yeah. Maybe, but not if Roman wants to keep him down.
Not if RBY doesn't want to. RBY's been riding people real hard.
Yes. And I like Jesse, and he'll get probably another crack at him. At Big Tens, you would assume.
Bird's in there.
Bird.
Keenan, he's been having a little tough go, but.
Yeah, it's tough.
Ragusin, the Big Ten's pretty
so
deep.
I got Roman covering this. I think 3.5. Maybe I would think a little harder about it. This made me think.
I would consider the other way.
I would consider it, but yeah. All right, Sasso, Shane Van Ness. We didn't do a line for Bo versus Dylan. He couldn't come up with a line.
I think it'd be a pick'em, for sure.
Be a pick'em.
I maybe give Bo a 1.5. I'd probably give Bo a 1.5.
Wow. Really? Not a 1.5.
Well, a half point is just
easy
a pick
then, because Dylan could win or he could lose by a point.
And
that is
Bo
true.
wins, it's probably gonna be by a point.
Yeah, too easy.
But like a pick'em, so many people would go just Bo.
Mm-hmm.
But Dylan's 8-0.
These people don't know this.
These
people don't know this.
They don't know that.
They're not watching Junior World Team Trials.
I think they're watching Super 32. Come on. They know who these guys were when they were wrestling.
Plus, even despite that, my pick would be Bo.
Yeah, he's still been better this year.
Yeah, Dylan, after he got hurt, has not been quite the same.
Yeah. All right, fine. We won't do that one. Sasso, Shane Van Ness, 2.5 points for young Sammy. Max Murin beat him by 3. This is tough.
Yeah, I was really surprised Max Murin beat him by 3. I did not think there'd be 2 takedowns in that match. That was surprising to me.
JD knew.
I'm gonna go Van Ness, maybe to my own peril.
I'm kind of with you. I think bad performance by not a good performance from Shane, probably against Max. Yeah. A little bit of a bounce back, wrestles him tough.
Yes.
I just think a little improvement there. I think it's a Sasso win, but I'm going Van Ness also here.
You seen okay, Ben? I'm going. Wait, you said Sasso?
No.
That's me. I'm going Sasso.
Okay.
After Sasso,
that's not crazy.
After Sasso took that loss, he's been wrestling pretty good. To Real Budo.
Yeah.
He hasn't wrestled anyone super tough, but I haven't been quite as impressed with Shane Van Ness this year as I thought I would be coming in.
I feel similar. He's not quite, and we knew there was an element of.
You were super high on him.
Super high. I'm not selling I'm not Shane.
Your diamond
Shane
hands.
Sparks, but I think they need him to be really good at some point in his career, and I think it'll happen.
Well,
but yeah,
there's a few of these freshmen like that. Penn State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you like Facundo? You mean?
Yeah,
Facundo made a jump from last year to this year.
Definitely made a jump.
The thing about Shane, though, is that we don't know if he took a jump because we didn't get to see him wrestle last year.
And that was the big question. So you got to remember, he wrestled 2 matches last year. He didn't do any freestyle. So we hadn't seen him hardly at all. We haven't seen him do a full season in a really long time. And then he comes out, and he's really good in that first at Michigan State, or his first couple tournaments.
Before wrestled at Black Knight.
Collegiate, he looked good there. Until he
he had the 3-2 with Nero.
Yeah, he looked good in that match. Sorry, I was looking up Sasso, and I'll get back to Shane. But yeah, since losing to Real Budo, major pin, major tech pin. Not against Murderer's Row, but extremely dominant.
Big weekend for Sasso because he'll have Yaya.
Yeah.
On Sunday.
Those are some tough guys.
Ooh.
So he started Shane 10-0. Couple falls, some decisions. He beat some decent guys. He beat Johnny Lovett twice. Beat Quinn Kinner, who's tough. So he had a good start that would make you think it's going to be good. But he's 2-3 for his last 5 matches, which I can imagine has probably not happened much in Shane Van Ness's career. So, yeah.
Probably not. Kind of rough.
He lost 6-2 to Gomez, 3-2 to Pinheiro. Which, have we talked about Gomez's injury yet? I feel like both shows.
We mentioned it, but no one knows anything, so.
No one knows much, but he.
Not look good.
Gomez tweet, if you watch it, it did not look good. He went down very. There's if you watch it, you can watch it, and maybe Ben would have some analysis, but you can't really see what happened other than
it doesn't do anything. He cuts away and steps away, and then all of a sudden he
drops hard,
and
screaming in a lot of pain. And then he tweeted, I think yesterday or the day before, "Don't count me out," which makes me sound like he's got a real uphill battle in front of him to get back.
The fact that he thinks everyone's counting him out already.
Yeah. When no one actually knows makes me think, oh boy, not good. And I'm curious, what, other than you lose a title contender or a guy, the only guy that's beaten Yanni since 2017. Are there other impacts is there a team race impact? Does it really change much? It just seems like beyond the Yanni impact, not a ton.
I mean, obviously, it impacts Wisconsin's placement at nationals because
certainly.
He's obviously their best guy, and Hamidi's their second best guy. But because of the weight class, it's going to be hard for him to place really high. So it hurts them a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so we did Sasso Van Ness for 149, 165. James went pick'em for Facundo versus Harchla.
I think that's the right move.
I think Harchla's the favorite here. I think Harchla is weak. I don't know if Facundo can yet expose those weaknesses, so I'm going with him. I've been riding with Harchla to my own detriment. I mean, first of all, he won last week. They literally called 2 twice and just wiped it off. So I would like that pick'em change.
Twice? I thought it was once. Which one?
He said 2. He said 2 twice. So that I'm just counting.
He said 2-2.
You mean twice in the same sequence, you mean?
That's twice. That's 2 times. It's actually 3 times because he held up 2 and he said 2 twice. And then Amin screamed, which I think was a concession of the match.
Yeah, honestly, that was really weird. I wish we had the other camera angle so we could see if he actually had the foot. Because if he had the foot, then I think it should be.
Yeah.
This is over. It's 2. It's over. But you can't quite see, so I'm going to withhold judgment.
Yeah. I think if you say 2, it's 2. Anywho. Facundo's actually ranked higher, which I understand why with the Amin win. Mm-hmm. Common opponent there. But I like Harchla here.
Man. I also like Harchla. I think it's going to be a 1 takedown match. Is that takedown in the third period or is it in overtime? I'm not really certain. But, Harchla is relatively offensively limited, and this happens to a lot of guys where, he had kind of a sneaky attack sequence, and then once everyone saw it for 2 months, they're like, "Oh, that's it," when they kind of figured it out.
I don't know. I'm thinking back to him coming up in late high school, some of his freestyle stuff. I feel like he's got really good leg attacks. I just think we haven't seen them to the degree we have yet. Like, he did have the shoot under dump gimmick thing that really worked.
Yeah, that dump, and then he would go this way off it.
Yeah.
It was pretty effective for the first, say, 2 months of last year.
Yeah, but I never felt like that was like his thing. I thought he was good at getting the shots.
No, that was definitely his thing. Because I remember watching him against like Parker and a few other guys. I feel like he did that a lot.
Keckeisen?
Yeah, Parker lost to him at 19 Fargo, 18 Fargo, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
That was when Parker had his breakout. But yeah, he would go 2-on-1, dump, and then he could drag off the other way. Yeah, and then he had a few other things off that. But yeah, that was his, like, I feel like that was his go-to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who you guys?
So you picking Karchla?
Yeah, I got Karchla.
Karchla.
Everyone picking him?
Wow.
For JD.
We talked.
Bad line.
It feels like a 1-point match. If it was a 1.5 favorite Karchla, I might go Facundo.
Oh yeah, but it was 1.5, you'd go the other way. He'd give either one of them a 1.5, and you go the other way for sure.
We talked about people adapting to Karchla's offense and kind of maybe his lack of offense, but I've been a little concerned with Facundo's lack of offense this season as well. So
he's kind of been that way against the top tier guys.
Yeah. So
yeah.
For that reason, Karchla final answer.
A lot of agreement here. A lot of agreement. Aaron Brooks, Caleb Romero, 2.5-point favorite for Aaron Brooks. Let's look. How has this gone?
So Brooks majored him.
I thought so.
Yeah.
But that is like the only time Brooks has lost by more than 2 points in his career.
You mean Romero?
Romero.
Right. Or yeah, excuse me.
Interesting. And that's the only time they've wrestled.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going Brooks for sure.
At the NCAA Wrestling Championships. That's Caleb's only bonus point loss. That's
even to like top guys, he loses by 1, 2, maybe 3.
Well, then I expect you to take him.
Yeah, Romero's very, very difficult to score on, but I think Aaron Brooks has got the recipe for it.
He lost 6-1 to Massa in 21. He lost 6-0 to Demetrius Romero.
This is 2021.
Man, Demetrius Romero, who did he just lose to? I don't even think we talked about that. But man, you can only be in college so long, and then you're just like, nah, man, my body ain't fresh no more.
He lost to the Air Force kid, right?
Yeah, he lost to Sam Wolf from Air Force.
And Sam Wolf, he's actually not that bad.
Air Force is kind of having a sneaky year too. It's not just
Sam Wolf's not bad.
They're flying under the radar.
They're flying under the radar. Their captain Wyatt Hendrickson is not the only guy that's climbing the ranks. So shout out to Coach Barber there and the rest of the crew. Air Force doing a nice job. Yeah, I got to go Brooks here, 2.5.
Maybe should have gone 3.
We should make
it. Because I'm going Brooks.
Daggone it. How can I catch up if you just...
Daggone it.
I went Sasso. You went Shane Van Ness.
Not good. Take Romero.
Christian,
this guy in the chat, I think Michael was saying I should just pick every pick the same as you for the rest of the season.
You could do that.
That's the coward's way out.
Coward's way out.
No coward.
This is no coward. He's courageous. Look at this. This is a courageous sweater.
This is a nice sweater.
Ben, do you even own a sweater?
I'm wearing a sweater right now.
That's not a sweater. That's a sweatshirt. Do you not know what a sweater is? You're an educated man. You're very intelligent.
It's something with long sleeves. Long sleeves. You got long sleeves on it.
Something with long sleeves is a sweater.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, you want to stay warm. Be cold.
It's like John Danaher's rash guards are also sweaters.
Ben's wearing a sweater.
Right. If this is 3.5, would either of you change your mind?
I'm still going Brooks. I think Brooks.
I would go Romero. I would go Romero if it's 3.5.
Do we want an executive line change here?
On the fly?
And on the fly?
Lines change all the time in
trying
Vegas.
to make my life harder. Let's go.
Changing it too late.
He changed it.
No, you can't change it, you butt face.
It's just changed.
Oh my
That's
God. All right, I'm still going Brooks. Brooks, don't let me down here.
Give me Swole.
Don't do something like ride him a whole period for no good
Give me
reason.
Swole.
Don't do that. We need a few takedowns.
That could happen.
All right, Labriola versus Edmund Ruth. 3.5 points for Michael. Woo!
I thought too much. Edmund Ruth.
It's a
Edmund Ruth
lot
does not
of
like
points.
losing by a lot of
Edmund
points.
Ruth just lost.
He did just lose
He
to
did
Bailey
just
O'Reilly.
lose. Bailey O'Reilly's been having kind of a good season. I looked at that earlier. He's lost to
Bailey O'Reilly's real
Mako
tough.
and Labs and Dustin Plott. I mean, that's 3 really tough dudes. Yeah. I'm going Edmund Ruth. 3.5 points is a lot. He does not get scored on a huge amount. He also doesn't score a lot. He's kind of not super offensive.
Very strong guy. Loves his underhooks.
Very strong, positionally good, but doesn't score a ton of points.
Let's see. What's his worst loss? He lost 6-4 to Bailey.
3-1 to Ethan Smith. That's it.
3-1 to Ethan Smith. He was undefeated last year. He lost 10-7 to Foca in 2020. This is kind of ancient history now. He's been in these streets a long time. My gosh.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know what his eligibility situation is because
Nor am I.
2018 he was a high schooler, right? When he's got one match there.
Cody
So was he in
Davis.
college in 2019 or was he still in high school in 2019? I have no idea. And in 2020 he was obviously in college. And then 2021 there's not even a 2021 season on his wrestle stats, so I don't know where he was.
Yeah, it says Lehigh. Oh, yeah, it says no. Yeah, I think he was just off. So 18-19 he was in high school. So 20-21 he might have. It says this is his sophomore year. It looks like he has 2 years left after this year.
Something like that, yeah.
He's impressive. O'Reilly looked good against him, taking him down. Yeah. The thing that's, one Labriola flurry could be big points, and then he doesn't have really the capacity probably to run him down, but still feels like a lot.
Okay.
Too much.
Too much.
Too rich?
Too rich.
Not for me. I'm going Labs.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Let's go. All right.
He hits some sort of leg pass, scramble, gets back points. That's how he covers.
Yeah. That's the scenario that scares me. Okay.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Missouri at Oklahoma. Alan Hart versus Moshe Schwartz. Hart, 1.5 point favorite.
I'm thinking about pushing that Schwartz button. He's been wrestling good the past month.
He actually has.
Great
the
weekend.
UNI guys bad? Because UNI guys lost to both Moshe and Young.
I kind of have no hesitation in Hart here.
You have no heart.
I'm all heart. I think, man, you throw out the Southern Scuffle finals. He looked so good, so impressive there. You throw out Andrew Lears. He's just on a different sort of strata right now for this weight class, him and Real Woods. So you throw out that match, he looked so good. And I think he'll be able to do that against Moshe Schwartz.
He lost to Jesse Vasquez.
That was early.
And then he only wrestled two
we
matches.
We couldn't watch
after
that one because stupid.
Then he wrestled Julian Farber and Joe Furno since the Southern Scuffle final. That's it.
That's a normal cadence. He wrestled a little bit, missed a little bit.
Well, I'm saying, how can you say he looked so good?
He looked great at the Scuffle. He killed everyone at the Scuffle.
Okay.
He did. He killed everyone.
That's what I'm saying. He was dominant, and then he had Alirez, which, different sort of thing. Yeah, he lost to Vasquez in November, but
that was one. So
the only tough opponent he had at Scuffle was
probably
Berglund.
biased. The Missouri guys said he almost had a bunch of takedowns. No one could watch it because that stupid Pac-10 network kept going in and out.
Yeah. So here, I'll just give a summation. He majored Jordan Titus, who we all think is pretty good. He beat. Hold on, just relax. He beat Tom Crook 8-2. He pinned Drogemuller, who beat Brock Hardy this year. 6-0 over Berglund, destroyed Berglund. No problem. That's a pretty solid resume. And there's a ton of there's a ton of dominant wins in here over guys that are like, okay, not superstars. This is the easiest pick of the week for me, and it's going to be by. I'm not going to need the half point or whatever. He's going to win by more than that.
I can executively bump it up to
No. You did your one executive bump up.
Well, guess what? I just bumped it up to 2.5.
No problem. No problem, Bubba.
I'm still going Hart.
See, all that.
No more bub-ups. You can't be switching it in the middle of the thing.
Yeah, this
seems like a Schwartz can be. He does some really funky things.
A little sneaky. It's a little sneaky.
Yeah, and it got him in trouble against that Edinburgh kid, Ole. They put like
Alex Ole. This is
25 points on the board, and then he got pinned doing something funky.
Hart's gonna massacre. I'm getting 6.5. I'll take it.
Whoa.
I don't know
6.5.
about that.
That's a lot of points. Let's keep it where it is. I'm going Hart. Next pick.
Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, Hart. Spencer Lee versus Pat McKee. We've got a Lee by pin situation once again.
No text.
He pins Pat McKee every time, right?
So far.
Going pin.
So it's pin or no pin. Marco Vespa does plant a seed of doubt in this whole pin party thing.
That is true.
Of course, he broke the streak.
He broke the streak. I'll give me a Lee by tech, so I'll take McKee.
I'm gonna go Spencer Penn.
All right.
Come on, Spencer.
That duel is Friday or Saturday?
Friday night.
Friday night,
Yes.
9 p.m. Late one.
Late one.
That might be past
Friday
Spencer's bedtime. That might affect his
night.
performance.
Hey, we're gonna have a watch party. I'm gonna be there. I don't know who else. I'll have other friends. JD will be in Columbus.
That's right.
Are you guys sure you don't have Eastern times on here?
These are in the dock. It's Eastern times.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Okay, 6 and 8. All right,
Yeah.
got it.
8 o'clock. Hopefully the Pyles have power at this point. They're saying that we'll have power by tomorrow night.
What?
Thanks a lot, guys.
2 days plus without power? What's wrong with Texas?
I don't know. It's not good.
Bro, that's a long time.
I invited Christian and his family to come stay in my very spacious 600 square foot apartment.
Nice
one
guy.
bedroom.
He even had Cajun pasta.
I had Cajun
waiting,
pasta for
waiting
dinner
for
last
us.
night.
Here, I just Tyler, I just sent you a picture of my backyard currently. You can pull up. The trees are just out of control right now. There's way too many trees in this world. Is what
Too
I'm
many.
realizing.
That's the thing. Downtown, we got no trees.
No trees downtown.
falling those power lines.
Trees everywhere. Took out our fence now. We got all kinds of. Look at this.
Oh my goodness! You on a chainsaw? I can fly me down there. I'll bring my chainsaw.
Come on. Can you cut that on a carry-on? Just put the chainsaw away. David Bray's got chainsaws.
Wonder if they'd let you do that. Probably not. I don't think they'd let you do that.
It would seem like.
I'm gonna go with no.
Just check it.
If they don't like pocket knives.
Maybe you gotta drain the fluids. You gotta drain the fluids first, and then maybe you'll be able to do it.
Yeah. Just put
Then the fluids in here. How am I gonna start it?
Just put the blade in the check bag in the engine part in the carry-on. Very normal.
There you go. Smart. Disassemble it. That's a good idea.
So yeah, our backyard's in shambles. Anyway, we keep it moving. Saturday we got more duels coming. Nebraska at Purdue. Cronin versus Matt Ramos. This is a pick'em.
Ooh, that's a good one right there.
This is as coin flip as it gets. For
I
me.
like Ramos. When I watch Matt Ramos,
Cronin.
I'm like, this guy is really, really good, really talented. He's got a lot of. Now he could just get pinned here, because he's kind of zany, but I like it. I'm going with Ramos.
I'm going with Cronin because he's been hot. He was really dominant over Barnett, 3 takedowns to 0, and just looked really good doing it.
Ramos is more prone to kind of up and down performances. I feel like his high is maybe a little higher, but he also has lower lows. What Ramos do we get? I'm going with the consistency of Cronin.
I agree. Cronin's one dude.
Hold on. Liam Cronin is the picture of consistency. Is like he lost.
No, Cronin's had a really good year.
He got majored by Caleb Smith and lost to Ethan Bergen of Army this year.
That was beginning of the year. That was before he turned it up.
Okay, well, all right. Let's look at
Matt Ramos.
Let's look at Matt Ramos.
He whooped McKee, he whooped D'Agostino, and he whooped Barnett. That's 3 top 10 dudes right there.
Okay, well, whooping
in a row.
All right, hold on. If I may,
11-6, 11-2, 7-3.
I don't think you may.
May I, Ben? Because listen, by every measurement, Matt Ramos has had a better year than Liam Cronin. Okay, his losses are not as bad as Liam's. He lost to Figueroa, Spencer Lee, and the one loss is Anthony Moulton, who randomly beats good guys.
This is true.
Moulton's kind of scrappy.
Okay, now let's get to the wins. Lots of good wins. He beat Colton Camacho, who's good. He beat. I'll move on after this one. He beat Jax Forrest by tech fall, which is something, but not really for this argument. He beat Steve O'Poulin, Noah Certain, Cooper Flynn, Eric Barnett, Pat McKee. He has better wins. He has more acceptable losses. So I reject the inconsistency or that Liam, in fewer matches, has had far more ups and downs than Matt
JD
Ramos.
said inconsistent. I just said Cronin's been really good.
You agreed.
You said I agree. I can have. I
agree that Cronin's been really good. Yes. Yeah, and he just beat 3 top 10 guys, and none of which were close matches. They weren't 4-3s or 3-2s.
We don't like. Listen, Team Ramos doesn't like winning big. We like to put on a show.
He actually doesn't. He's got a lot of close ones.
But I don't feel like I'm rolling the dice with some wild swashbuckler. I feel like they're both sort of
wild swashbuckler.
They're not like
what?
Inconsistent. There's not like a more consistent guy between the two. So without hesitation, Matthew Ramos. Lock it in. Final answer, Reg.
Final answer.
Okay. 2 Cronins and a Ramos.
2 Cronins and a Ramos.
I do not feel confident. I would not feel confident either way.
I don't feel that confident.
I would be okay going with the Ramos pick. But I'll go Cronin.
Peyton Robb versus Kendall Coleman. 3.5 points for Peyton Robb.
That's what I said, but then I just looked. He has not been good against Peyton Robb. My initial feeling was to pick Kendall Coleman, and I'm looking back through some history.
Look at the history.
I'm going to pick Peyton Robb.
So he's won by 4, by 8, by 2. Oh, they've wrestled so many times.
Beat him in 2020.
And then he beat him 7-3. Man, it's not been good.
That being said,
that's a lot of points. And I think Kendall will keep it within 3 or less. I feel good about this.
I'm going Peyton Robb. He's been good this year.
He's been real good.
And I thought Kendall Coleman had actually was kind of turning it up, and then he went and lost to Garrett Model. And I think Garrett Model is pretty tough, but then Model kind of got rolled up by Robb. He lost to Seabrook, and he got beat by Levi Haynes really badly.
Well, Seabrook, Haynes, and Robb are looking like better and better losses.
They are, but
for
like
Kendall,
against Haynes and Robb against Model weren't really all that competitive.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going Robb. I'm with the hot hand.
Give me KC Stampede. Let's do it. The problem is sometimes Peyton or Kendall just get pinned.
Yep.
What is concerning to me is Robb's 2-0 victory over Chumbley.
Chumbley's tough. Though.
Chumbley's tough defensively, though, and he won't attack sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling with the Boilermakers, both of these.
Boiler up.
Congrats to Mark Manning, 300 wins. That's a whole lot of wins. That's a lot of winning.
A lot of them.
What a legend. Great guy, great coach. Go Huskers. Okay, Iowa State at Pittsburgh. This is the Bastida Bana Corsi Bowl. We can't wait for this one.
So this is the only match you put in here, but there should be some other fun matches in here. You guys brought up
fun ones.
Swiderski Matthews is fun.
They're just not like top 10.
Coleman Heller.
Yep.
Probably someone's going on their back there.
Yep.
Yeah, some good ones. Could we see Pitzer? Are they going to use Pitzer versus Skyler? I believe that
he's got another one.
Keith Gavin should. Yeah, they'll definitely use him. Definitely use him. They should at least.
It's at home too.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to buy him a plane ticket.
In Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Pittsburgh.
It's amazing.
Pittsburgh. That's a great name.
Bastida, a 1.5 favorite. What do we think about this, Ben? I don't think the line's bad.
I kind of want to pick Bonacorsi. He's been really good this year. The one thing that worries me a little bit is that sometimes he has this habit to keep shooting when he's losing and not keep it close, which I guess I'm kind of okay with. But that that makes me think he could lose by more than 1.5.
Yeah, for sure. I talked about this with him this fall, and he very much recognized that was an issue, and he's like, I just have to be a little more. I still have to be offensive, but I've got to be more selective. I think he knows it's a thing that he's got to sort of address if he wants to reach his goals. So I think he's going to be a little savvier there. I'm going to go with Bonacorsi because he can lose by 1 and still win. He's got an advantage on the mat here against Younger, albeit we don't know to the degree because Younger is getting better underneath.
I feel like won't be a factor.
The mat won't be a factor.
Unless it goes to tiebreakers, I don't see that happening.
Yeah. So I'm going with that. Cool. Wow, David Slager. This is my first week listening to the show. Love the insight and perspective. New fan for life. Thank you, David.
For
life. Shout out to David.
Well, we lost a fan for life yesterday because we said pin is the way to is the actual goal of folk style wrestling. So we did lose one yesterday.
We're not losing him. He's in it. We're not gonna lose him.
No, Christian. Listen, that was pretty ridiculous of you to say a pin is the goal of folk style wrestling.
Hey, okay, I'm a dreamer.
I'm saying
Tell me I'm not the only one.
Thankfully, not the only one. All right, so I'm going. You have to go, Bastida.
I'm hammering that Bastida.
I love Bastida. Shane was asking like, what's your favorite? If you could pick your 3 like feel good All Americans, I didn't come up with a good. But if Younger Bastida won an NCAA title, that might make me as happy as any other.
Why? What do you love him so much for?
What a story! This guy was cute. He comes here. He doesn't know any English when he gets here, any at all. Now he knows English. Right. He's going to school. Story. Like he learned an entirely new style of wrestling, which is very nuanced and
when
different.
He was born, the odds of this happening in his life were next to none.
Yeah,
and
you look at the jumps he's made. Like he definitely has you can tell the program's put a lot of time into him, but he is clearly paid the dues as well to get this good. I think it's an amazing story.
Yeah, you're right. Great story.
So yeah, he's up there for me. Plus, he's just really fun. Although don't stick your tongue out at people. I think that's childish. Younger.
Come on, sometimes you gotta be a little childish.
That's not. No, you shouldn't stick your tongue out at people.
Why not?
Entertaining. Undeniably
once in a while.
On the wrestling mat, you're sticking out your tongue. Listen, I'll tell you this right now,
Ben. Hilarious. I'm in with it.
If one of your guys did that at one of your middle at a P&L duel, and they're in the middle of a match and they win and they stick their tongue out, you better have a conversation with that guy. You would, and you would, and that's why you're sticking your tongue out at me, because that's the petulant little response when I got you, because you're wrong, you're wrong.
I think it's funny. I think sticking your tongue out is hilarious.
I think
like nanny nanny boo boo, you can't get me. I use that with my kids all the time.
Come on.
Playing in the basement.
This isn't basement. Come on, dude. Someone said I'm backing off Bo, fair weather friend. No way. I'm not backing off Bo. Rolf Gates. I'm still with him, side by side. Okay. So
Ben, who is your pick here?
I picked Bonacorsi.
Okay, Bonacorsi. You've got Bastida. Stop sticking your tongue out. You can spike your head
now that I know that it bugs you so much, I'm just gonna stick my tongue out constantly.
It doesn't bug me on a personal level, like it's like a pet peeve of mine. It's just like I don't know.
It's
That's
a little
kind
childish.
of it's pretty childish. Yeah. All right, moving on. Sammy Sass. No, I skipped one. Vito versus Michael Kolioko. Vito 2.5-point favorite. Vito is betting lines poison because you just don't know with this guy. He's so crazy.
This is true.
2.5 feels. Yeah, I got Vito here. Listen. Yeah, Vito. No hesitation.
You definitely hesitated.
I hesitated. So I can say no hesitation, but there is hesitation. I'm man enough to admit when I hesitate.
I'm going Vito as well.
Vito across the board.
Yeah, it'll go tough though. I wouldn't be surprised to see this be like a 5-3 match, 6-4, something like that.
Yeah, it'll be. Kolioko's having a nice year, but Vito's so good on his feet. Sammy Sasso, Yaya Thomas. Sasso, 1.5. Yaya's looking really, really, really good.
Nah, but didn't he get 2 takedowns against Gomez?
No.
He got taken out once.
No.
Oh my gosh! No, he did get taken out, but then that's where he got hurt.
Sasso whooped up on him.
Who are we talking about right now? You said he.
Sorry, I was talking about Yaya Thomas. Didn't he give up 1 takedown before the injury?
No, 0-0 going into the second.
0-0. Okay. Who am I thinking about? Which match am I thinking about? Not that one. Not that one.
Thinking about Van Ness.
Oh,
maybe.
You know what I'm thinking about? No, I'm thinking about him. How good he looked against Max Murin. I was thinking about it backwards.
Yeah. Yep. I got Yaya.
1.5, huh?
1.5. I think that's probably the right line.
Yeah, that's
based on
line.
their history.
Good job, JD.
Sasso, was it this season at CKLV? He kind of whooped up on him.
8-2. Wow, that's right.
Jeez,
Ooh, I forgot about that.
I must say.
So I almost made this a 2.5, but Yaya has been wrestling very well since. I'm gonna go Yaya
because weigh-ins too with Sasso. I bet that one was later in the day, at some point.
Yaya is not exactly a small 49-pounder.
No, but Sasso fell off a cliff against Gomez. Remember how bad that third period was?
Yeah.
And Henson.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Yaya's the kind of guy that brings you to that. You know, he's a little more.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not going to wrestle super hard.
All right. So Nate Stakely said Sasso's only beaten him 40 times. Yeah. We are maybe being a little too respectful of Yaya, or disrespecting Sammy. Who's to say? We're not trying to be disrespectful. But Yaya, I do think Yaya is bringing a level of consistency. This has been a crazy close match in the past. I just vividly remember because I was sitting mat side for their Big Ten match in 2020 Rutgers before the world shut down, and it was just the most nip and tuck match for Sammy. He did win, but there were periods of time it looked like he was not going to. It was a tiebreaker win for him. So I'll go Yaya here, perhaps to my own peril. Tough weekend for the Buckeyes. They got two pretty tough duels.
2 good duels.
And Missouri at Oklahoma.
This one's easy. Mako time, baby. Let's go.
Man, Mako was doing good, and then
he's been beating him in both duels and then freaking lost. So Peyton, you got a good gas tank. Let's go. Use it, baby.
Plot does too. Plot was the one that was scoring late.
Plot does too. Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Plot likes to come from behind.
Mako does some weird stuff sometimes. This is at Oklahoma State. 2.5. All right. I'll ride with your boy this time. I don't feel great about it.
We're all going Mako.
He just be doing some crazy stuff. That's okay. Hey, good question.
Let's go Mako.
Good question here from JD, and something to be paying attention to. Arizona State wrestles Oregon State on Sunday night. Who is Arizona State going to use?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to put it in here, but I really don't know who they're going to use.
You know what we should do is just the pick'em, or the pick'em should be who does Arizona State use? Not if they win, just like who do they send out? I feel like Courtney, but I don't know.
I mean, they just
now did Figueroa
wrestle
like Courtney?
Him?
See, they would have had the opportunity to hit at CKLV, right? Oregon State was there.
I don't think they did. They didn't hit. Kaler did not do great there.
Because if Figueroa had wrestled him and beat him, I would put a lot of money on Courtney wrestling.
Because they're trying to get the win for both of them.
Right.
So at Cliff Keen, he lost. Actually, it's not that bad. He lost to Cronin and Matt Ramos, who are pretty freaking good. Yeah, I feel like it's probably gonna be Courtney, but I'll admit them using Figueroa recently does plant a little seed of doubt in what they're doing. But definitely something to monitor. Okay, what else is popping?
That's it. We got all the popping things
questions?
going.
All
I
the
don't want.
pop-
No,
Yeah.
no, not this.
No, not that. Okay, we're not gonna talk about that, and you guys don't know what that is, but this is not happening.
Let's go question.
Did Ben trash talk while actively wrestling a live match?
Yes.
Yes.
He didn't just trash talk; he stuck his tongue out.
Did you? You didn't
I
stick
don't know
your
if I ever
tongue out.
stuck my tongue out. I should have tried that one time. I actually don't think I did ever stick my tongue out.
Yeah. That's good. Someone asked, "Who's Askren been fighting?" And then someone says his wife hit him with a toaster. Did
My
Amy throw a
wife,
toaster
she doesn't
at
have
you?
enough. She doesn't have enough strength to hit me with a toaster and hurt me. It'd not
Toasters
be
aren't
very
that
effective.
heavy.
First of all,
No, I told you guys both what I did on both of these.
yeah, we know what happened,
Is that
Ben.
a
But
cover-up
We already
story?
know what happened.
yeah, we heard your side. But
I
I think
explained myself.
I think Amy dropped a toaster on him right on your. If you were asleep, listen. If you were asleep and she just stood over you and dropped it on your eye, it would split your eye open.
I don't know if it would, Christian.
Come on.
Debatable.
You're if your single leg is still generating enough force to split your eye, I dare say a toaster could do it.
I got a pretty tough single leg. Shot it hard.
Evidently.
Mm-hmm.
This is an often asked question just in wrestling lore. Who's the best college wrestler to never win a national championship in the last 20 years? This guy offers up John Trench, who is a fine option.
Caldwell's the one that gets tossed around a lot.
Poeta's one I like.
Oh, Tyler Caldwell.
Mike Poeta.
So for me, it needs to be someone who was like considered the best guy at different points in the year, right? Did we ever like? I don't think there was ever a year where like Tyler Caldwell.
Well, it's because he was in like Kyle Dake's way, David Taylor's way. That's his thing is he only lost
Jordan Burroughs weight.
Chris Perry.
Okay.
Perry. That's his thing is like he
Yeah.
only had like 6 losses or something in his college career, but it was all to multiple time really good national champions.
We got to look up his losses at
NCAAs.
NCAAs. This is gonna be. You're gonna feel for Tyler Caldwell here. So his last year was 2014.
Very good.
He lost to David Taylor. 2013. Pretty sure it would have been Dake, but I want to pull up all his losses. Let me see if I can. Dang it! I had this little thing.
I mean, it was Burroughs, it was Taylor, Andrew Howe maybe.
Howe for
right?
sure. He lost to Burroughs in the finals. Caldwell. No, he was definitely gone by then.
Yeah, definitely.
Who? Graf gets thrown in there a little bit. He definitely. He was in position to win in 2014 and didn't.
Oh, Graf's a good one.
Graf's a good one.
What'd you guys say about my Poeta one?
I like
You don't like that one?
Poeta. I'm trying to think back.
He lost so close twice in the finals. He lost really close. Brian Snyder, also another 157 that lost 2 really close finals matches.
Yeah, Snyder's definitely up there.
Andrew Long, number 1.
Not Andrew Long.
Stop. You just stop right now.
Yeah,
I think you can't beat the ones that we said right there. There's 5 there. You put them any order you want, but really good.
Yeah, I really want to look up all these Tyler Caldwell.
Michael
losses,
McMullen.
McMullen is the one where I'm like, I never felt like he was going to win it. He just always wrestled really well at NCAAs, but I was never like, he's the guy to beat here.
Ness,
Sam
2-time
Hazelwinkle.
finalist.
Sam Hazelwinkle. 3-3-3-2.
Hayes.
I think
Hayes was supposed to win his senior year. He had dominated.
He killed Donahoe at Big 12s.
Killed and then lost. So I think. Yeah, I think you almost have to go him. I found my little brackets folder at long last. Let me see. So, shoot, I only went back.
Oh, look at this. 2017, Andrew Spade, the best to never win a title, 170 pounds. Number 1, Tyler Caldwell. He went 5-2-3-2.
Does he list his losses?
He lost as a sophomore, Caldwell lost to a guy named Jordan Burroughs.
Redshirted. He lost to David Taylor. And he lost to Dake at some point. So that's his last couple of years. He lost to 3 of the greatest American wrestlers ever. Truly. So, yeah, that makes it tough.
Yeah.
Thomas Gilman.
TPG for sure was
Gilman's
supposed to. Gilman, he was a high seed as his sophomore year in 2015. 2016, he made the finals, lost to Nico. 2017, what happened? Was that the cruise year? Yes, that was the cruise year. And that was his senior season. And then he immediately went on. Oh, James Green.
That's a good one.
But
I don't feel like James Green was quite as close as some of the other guys we mentioned.
No.
And sometimes I feel like with a few of these guys, Gilman and Green specifically, their post-collegiate accomplishments, bring them up because they did so well after college.
No, I completely agree with that. And Green, well, the interesting thing with James is was he a world medalist going into his senior year? No, he medaled after, I guess, losing to Imar. But he was never like his senior year. It was Imar's weight, right? He had lost to Imar in the regular season, and he lost to him in at NCAA. So we were, even though probably coming in the year, we're like, James is going to win this weight. It was pretty clear that it was going to be Imar at that point.
McMullen.
Oh, but James was in 2014. He was definitely supposed to win that year, and then he got Nest. Nest Gator baconed him through when he was the 1 seed, and he had destroyed Dylan at Big Tens that year. And that's the year that Daringer won. So I don't know. Green's up there for sure.
McMullen went 3-2, 3-3 at NCAAs.
Good one.
Brester, 2-time finalist.
Craig Brester was really good. A lot of people forget about him. He beat Varner once. I
beat my brother, but Max killed him for a while, and then I think their junior year, I think Max beat him like 5 times, and then Max lost to him twice.
He got good, really good at the end there.
Yeah.
Hamlin's up there, they say.
2-time finalist. Muchastegui, 2-time finalist, who had Ed Ruth.
Yeah.
At his weight. Earl Schalt was really good.
A lot of good guys. All right.
This is Tyler just reminded me. There's a meme that dudes can literally just sit around and name old sports players and have the best time.
That's
what
the memories, boys.
That's what we just did for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
remember this guy? This guy was good.
This guy was good. Remember how good this guy was?
It's best when it goes to the deep cuts.
Yeah. What's the deepest cut we just made here? Probably a Muchastegui.
Robert Hamlin.
That's a deep cut.
But it's best when, like, do you just remember this, like, one starter who beat this one guy this one time and then was terrible?
I'm with you.
Another really good guy to never win, Montel Marion.
Wow.
Ooh, deep cut right there.
That's a good one.
He never quite put it together. Also, Dan Dennis.
Oh, my gosh.
Ooh.
So
got Nest.
So what I would say, okay, so backing up, Montel that year, his senior year, he lost to, was it his senior year he lost to Dake? No. Yeah. It was not. It was his junior year. And then in 2011, he had that extremely controversial match with Kellen Russell where he had like sort of 2 takedowns.
Oh, Christian, if I haven't heard you talk about this match 700 times.
What? What do you mean?
Montel Marion, Kellen Russell. Listen, I've been on the show for 500 episodes or something, right?
Yeah.
450. You have talked about Kellen Russell and Montel Marion no less than 12 times. You're like
you
that
are out of your mind.
Like, Grandpa. Oh, Grandpa, I only come to Thanksgiving and Christmas with you, but I heard that story every year for the last decade.
Man, I really don't think I've told that story very many times.
You definitely have.
I'm going to start bringing up all the stories you retell, Ben. You're a big reteller yourself.
I hate it. I try not to retell any stories.
All right, well, I'm going to start reminding you so you understand how much you do it.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'll do it.
Grandpa Pyles.
Since you're going to be like that. And it doesn't make it less true if I've told it before. It's on the top. I didn't bring up Montel Marion. Did I say Montel Marion's name? No. James D. Rader did.
JD's fault. That was JD's fault.
Okay.
I didn't mention Kellen Russell's name, though.
But to hear how close Montel Marion was to win a title one more damn time, I'm leaving.
Then leave. He was close. Hang up the call.
I actually got to pee real bad. So
here we go. It's only 9:35. You're going to have to dig deep.
A few other quick ones from the chat that we can move on. Lance
Some
Palmer.
of my Wayne Ballman.
Adam Kuhn.
Ooh, Adam Kuhn.
Hayden Hidley.
Yeah.
Good one. Hey, I got a question you brought Hayden Hidley.
Almost beat, he maybe should have beaten Nolf that one year. It was debatable.
Hey, can I ask a Hayden Hidley question?
Yes.
Is anyone good with this? Okay, so last year, his senior year of college, he bumped up all the way to 174, right? And we thought, oh my God, this guy must be so big for 157. That's why he's bumping up. He's even skipping 165. Didn't he just wrestle 70 kilograms yesterday in Croatia?
Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot. I'm not.
Why didn't he stay at 50? Why didn't he stay at 157? He might have won.
That was a whole. There's a huge difference in going overseas and making 74 or 70 kilograms once every couple months than having to do it twice a week.
No, just put him on a pitch count.
I don't think that's Hayden's style. I don't think he's
to win an NCAA title. Put him on a pitch count for sure.
Yeah, I think it was part of I remember vividly after NCAAs. I think Brackey did an interview with him or was something, and he was like, he didn't want to come back at all, and then he's like, okay, I'll come back, but I don't want to cut any weight. I just want to go 174 and see how I can do.
And then remember, he wasn't even going to wrestle senior level.
Yeah.
This was his first event back. Also, technically, he wrestled 72. Because you get 2 kilos at ranking
if
series.
he's wrestling 70, he's going to wrestle 70, which is what, 154 point something?
5, yeah.
Where's my calculator?
Yeah, 54 and a half.
54 and a half. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Hidley's in the conversation, personally. I never felt like he
was. That match with Nolf, though.
He wrestled Nolf close one time. And, listen, while that was not properly the right call, that was like a first period or early in the match situation where, who knows how Nolf wrestles that moving forward. It's not like a buzzer beater should have been. It's not like the Harchla Amin thing where if they call the 2, the match is over, and it was ignored. It was early in the match, and so you can't get hung up on that too much. Even though Caleb Pyles still brings up that match, it very much bothers him. He's like, he should have won that. Well, maybe. Okay. Next up. Next question. I lost the doc for a brief moment.
Lost the doc. Uh-oh.
Yeah. FRL 891. Can you believe 891, Ben? That's so many.
I know. That's what I said. So I've been on since 442. I think I looked it up. So I've been on 450 shows. Heard you talk about Montel Marion. They count Russell so many times.
I don't think that's true. But okay.
Good question.
All right.
Why do I want to know about a pickleball court?
Where's that? Oh, do you guys have a pickleball court at the HQ? Have I played pickleball? Hear you guys talk about ping pong. Pickleball is really fun. So it is really fun.
Sweeping the world?
Yeah. So I first started playing pickleball at the Children's Mental Hospital where I worked, and I was like, this is really fun because it's like ping pong, which I love, but a little more tennisy, a little more movement. It's actually sort of exercise. Yeah. I would like it. I do like it. And, yeah, if you can play pickleball, you should. But we do not have one at HQ yet. JD maybe will build one.
I would like, when we're not using the space out here, convert it to a pickleball court.
Will there ever be another season where Kale decides to take a punt year and redshirt everyone?
Probably not, but you never know.
I don't know if he'd ever... Yeah, will his recruiting classes ever put him in that sort of a position is the question, right? Where you have so many points coming off the books one year, and then you have basically a true freshman class coming in the next year.
The safe money is no.
Probably not. I think it's more likely, and this is Ben Randolph, good question, more likely that he'll be a scenario where, hey, you sit a Levi Haynes type of guy for a year when he's probably your best guy, but you still can win. But as far as
multiple guys who have already wrestled, and then you redshirt them.
Yeah, but that's not really what Kale did. He only did that. Well, I guess he did it with Zane and
Nico.
Those two. Because you think about it was also Nolf, Nickel, Neville's that were probably their best guys.
Hey, good question here. This kind of ties in with what we're talking about. I just lost it, but I know what the question was. It was more likely Bo, Shane Van Ness, and Haynes all placing or none of them placing.
Whoa.
I think none of them.
More likely none.
Likely that they all place.
If all three place, that is
that's wild.
Although
I think the most likely scenario is kind of like one or two of them. Three, I think, is not all that likely, and none is not all that likely.
Yeah, actually, I think I would be genuinely. Now that I think about it, I would be genuinely more surprised if none of them placed. They have 3 viable top 10 guys not place. That would surprise me more than
Van Ness. But Van Ness hasn't had that huge win this year, so
no.
Yeah, I think it's
one or
answer. Two of them place.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously the safer answer. But of the 2 options, I would be more surprised if none of them placed. I'll say that. That would really surprise me if Bo Bartlett didn't place. And
that's definitely possible.
And Levi Haynes didn't. Now, it's obviously possible, Ben, but I think it's unlikely.
Get sassy with me like that one more time. I'm coming down there with my chainsaw.
Listen, I'll give you a matching eye. You keep on. Listen.
So this one time, Montel Marion and Kellen Russell went at it.
I'll show you. Chase White says, hot take, RBY wins his 3rd NCAA title, but it's not over Fix in the finals. That is reasonably hot.
That's very hot because it would have to be Aruja then. No one else is beating Dayton Fix, and I would be shocked if Aruja does also.
Yeah, I would too.
I mean, Dayton Fix is a guy who, if he doesn't win this year, next year, will be on the list, if not number 1.
He will be the number 1, no argument.
I mean, 5 times second. It's not going to happen. He's going to get one.
Gotta get one.
What percentage chance do you give him against Roman right now?
I don't know. It's so hard because it's so close, but it's also, you've already seen it twice.
35?
What has he changed? I don't know.
I don't know what he's changed.
Yeah.
30?
30, yeah, 20, 30, somewhere in there.
30%. So if you say, at some point, does math enter the equation? Because what percentage chance did he have at winning the first year, in the second year? And then
I thought it was higher. I think I picked him the first year for sure.
For sure, yes. And then even
I might have picked him the second year.
You did. We both did.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know who James did, but I know we both picked Dayton. We were all in on the. There were a couple narratives that fueled it. One, we were saying, okay, yeah, he lost to Roman this year, the first time, because he was holding 57 and the Olympic trials and this and that and coming off suspension. But now, and then he makes the team and he gets world silver. And we're like, different guy. And then he's looking great all year long. He's killing everybody. And so we're like, it's just a different guy, different Dayton. He's going to do it. And then he does do it again. So now I'm sort of out of rationalizations. Other than then it's like just a pure numbers game. Like how many times can two people that are relative equals, not quite, can the same guy win?
Yes.
So I don't know. It's weird because, all right, there could be an equivalent team sport where you have one team that is slightly better than another team. But if they wrestled or if they competed 3 times, it'd be very unlikely for them to win 3 times.
So many more variables.
But wrestling is so different in that you can have 2 guys that are that close and the same guy can win every single time. So that's why the math can really distract or like.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking the percentage might actually be lower because he's not a lot better, but he's a little bit better, and that little bit better is going to make a difference a lot of times. Like it may be only a 10 or 15% chance. I don't know.
Yeah. It'll be fun to talk about as we get closer to it. how they both look. Yes. But the thing is, we're not going to know anything until it happens again.
We will
We're going to watch them.
Unless one of them loses, which won't happen.
Right. That's the only thing. But we're going to get to it, and there's going to be and I think that's what makes it exciting is there's going to be a huge element of we still don't know how this is, if Dayton's made the changes or not. We're not going to know till we see it, which is good reason to tune in.
Hey, I got a piece so bad, and I made it till 9:45. I made it.
Fine.
It's been very
Some people are without power, and you, Ben, you can't hold it.
They can still go pee outside?
At least this time. No, we can still use toilets this time around.
We can use toilets. That's great. Yeah. Shout out to toilets.
Right. Have a great weekend, guys.
Shout out to you, Ben. Watch party tomorrow. This guy on the call for Penn State, Ohio State. All kinds of fun activities. Great weekend of wrestling before us. And we will see you next Monday. And that is it. The show is over. Goodbye.